hello there.
Well, hello, the troopers. Welcome back to General Canoe's Bunker. Thank you so much for joining me here on the very first late night hangout of 2026. Come on. That's kind of crazy, right? Kind of crazy. First and foremost, thank you for joining me on this fine Saturday night. I hope that your weekend is going amazing. I hope that you're getting plenty of rest, plenty of good food, not gonna lie. Plenty of last minute Valentine gift shopping, by the way. You got a week, so don't say I didn't warn you. And also I hope that you have a little drinky drink, with you to join me here and just hanging out tonight. And once again, thank you so much for joining us, especially tonight because I posted about 7 minutes ago about going live. So I really appreciate anybody that's uh, attentive to our social media. And remember, guys, you can find us all over social media. We are splattered all across the different platforms like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and of course here on YouTube. So, hi to my Instagram peeps. I see you. What's going on, Limitless Nerd? Appreciate you joining, man. But yeah, here we are. Here we are, just hanging out. Um, this week, I had to postpone our regularly scheduled high ground live stream. For basically every in case you don't know, every Wednesday around 8:30 ish p.m. Central, we go live and we cover news, we cover whatever's going on, with Star Wars. And a lot of the times, since it's been kind of quiet with Star Wars, we move on to maybe some other topics. But yeah, this week was rough. Okay, this week was rough. At work, just yeah, work was extra. I think that's what the kids say. I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask Chat GPT. But yeah. Anyway, excuses, of course. But the point is that there was no live stream on Wednesday, and today I was like, you know what? I'm very tired. I want to do some filming, but kind of miss hanging out with the Bunker Bunch, live. Kind of miss, checking in at least once a week, right? Which I think that's a minimum. So I thought about bringing this back, bringing our late night hangouts back. And I didn't realize we haven't done one in months and months and months. So it was kind of crazy. It was kind of crazy. But here we are, and we're hanging out, and it's gonna be super fun. And again, thank you to anybody and everybody that is watching right now. Because I hopefully I'm not, just talking out into the nothingness, into the void. But yeah, hopefully once again your weekend is going awesome. And if not, you still got tomorrow. You still got Sunday, right? Which is just one big panic attack before Monday. But hey, stuff can be done. All right, so let me jump here into the chat. Appreciate y'all once again. Hey, look who it is. Got appetite for collectibles. What's going on, Nilda? Thank you so much for joining and stopping by. Um, Happy birthday to your mom, by the way. And also, happy birthday to our good friend Tate Fletcher, uh, famously portrayed Paz Vizsla on The Mandalorian show. So, happy birthday to him. I think he turned something like 55. I want to say he turns 55 today. I don't know. The man is 15 years older than me, and he looks 25 years younger than me. So, go figure, right? Yo, look who it is. We got Chris, the captain of the Nerd Squadron, saying hello there. Go check out Nerd Squadron. He just dropped a review of a very good looking Palpatine Hot Toys. I still haven't watched it, full disclosure. I will do that before I go to sleep. Because I know you know that I like to go to sleep, thinking of you. We also got Rouge Demon. What is going on, man? Appreciate you. Yo, everyone. He says, I'm a huge fan of Three Doors Down, and I'm very sad As the fan said, the final Twitter's down. Brad Arnold passed away from cancer. He was 47. Yeah, man, I just saw that a couple hours ago. That is nuts. And yeah, Three Doors Down has at least three songs that I will listen until my end of days. Um, yeah, man, I can't believe he's gone. He was definitely young. Yeah, cancer sucks, man. Cancer sucks. But yeah, rest in peace, Brad. Thank you for giving us, I guess, at least in my opinion, some epic tunes that, like I said, I will listen to until probably my deathbed. Honestly, Chris saying miss you more. Ah, hello there, says Sexy Flexly. What is going on, brother? Is it still cold up there, man? We got up to 82 here today, and I was like, weren't we like two like a week ago? I don't know what happened. We woke up to like 34, I want to say. All of a sudden, the day decides to shoot 50 degrees up, just cuz, just cuz, you've been carrying your sweater around too long. So let me crank up the heat. So yeah, that was not fun. That was not fun. I don't like that. We're supposed to be smack, middle of winter. It's supposed to be the worst month actually for winter for us. Not really. Not really. Yeah, we hit 82. Hey, what's going on, Chris? Thank you for stopping by, brother. Appreciate you, dude. You have been kicking your 1/6 collection into high gear, man. I don't know, like in a month, I think you're gonna need a new house again. Like you've been cranking them out like pancakes, dude. And they're all like freaking awesome. Thank you, Francis Neil. Oh, for sure, yeah. Give a big old hug to mom for me. Lucky Leonard says, yo, what's good? What's up, man? Thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate you. Yo, look who it is. The man collects. What is going on, Chris? Good to see you, brother. Appreciate you. And also, as always, thank you for keeping the toy hunting alive. It has been bone dry out here. Today highs was 13 Fahrenheit. Are you sure? Might want to double check that. That doesn't seem right. Where I'm at, it's single digit temperatures. Jeez, man. I'm telling you, dude, I was literally sweating today like bad. Um, so we decided to go to the zoo today. We got gorillas now. We got gorillas in San Antonio. We got three. It's pretty cool. So they made this huge like upgrade to the zoo the last couple of years. It took forever, man. It took forever to complete, but they finally did it, and now we have gorillas here in town. And yeah, we took the kid earlier today, and dude, it was hot. I did not like it. Now it wasn't 100 degrees. I know that, so I shouldn't be complaining. But I am complaining because again, this is our winter, man. I'm like, come on, what happened? I thought I thought we were supposed to still have some cold temperatures out here. Not so much. Not so much. Thanks, man. It's crazy. Yeah, man, for sure. Fahrenheit. Sheesh. That don't seem right. That does not seem right. Um, Again, I'll take some cold. I'll gladly dip into the 30s right now. Um, but yeah, man, today was crazy. Today the temperature swing just seemed like nuts. Supposed to be 73 here tomorrow in Kansas. Dude, I'm telling you, yeah, you're are not sorry, can't even talk, and that's because I had two sips of this. You are not even that far from us, but I'm telling you, man, the temperature swings are kind of nuts, kind of nuts. Ah. Ooh, Chris, walking into work, just wanted to stop by. Have a great show, hermano. Appreciate you, brother. Have a great night, man. Stay safe out there. Have fun. And yeah, as always, I appreciate you stopping by, man. Take care, brother. But yeah, guys, like I said, I just wanted to hang out, this week. For those of you who weren't here when I was talking, I think there was only one person connected on the stream when I was saying this. But this week was just kind of very, very nuts. Very, those weeks where like work just crushes your soul. Yeah, it was kind of one of those. It was kind of one of those. I should not complain too much. I know there's a lot of people, um, unemployed, especially in the last, couple of months. It's been, I don't know, guys. I don't want to get into politics or anything like that, but it has been rough. Hopefully, it's better where everyone else is at, but at least down here, it's been kind of rough. Um, so yeah, I shouldn't complain too much. But what I was gonna say is I postponed the our regularly scheduled Wednesday stream in favor of me, trying to retain a small semblance of sanity. But here we are, man. And again, I can't believe we haven't had an actual late night hangout um, this year. Again, kind of crazy to think, but it even last year apparently was is a long while. So it feels good. Feels good to be back. And again, I hope that you are joining me, with a cold, refreshing beverage, or in some of the people up north. Hopefully, you still have power. Hopefully, you can grab a maybe not a coffee, depending on how caffeine affects you for sleep. Maybe a decaf, maybe a nice chai, maybe some hot cocoa. So stay warm out there, man. But moving on a little bit onto what I want to ramble on today. Yo, what's up with Disney, guys? What is up with Disney? We're having some major shakedowns. Um, they started the year pretty intense in terms of changes, right? Of course, we've talked about it here, but I'll just bring it up quickly. Kathleen Kennedy is no longer president. Uh, Dave Filoni is co-president and creative chief officer. But that's for Lucasfilm. Um, and again, I do think it's a good thing. It's a positive step in the right direction. And let's see if Filoni can handle Lucasfilm. Right? We know he can handle Star Wars, but remember, Lucasfilm is more than Star Wars, believe it or not. So that's gonna be interesting to see, here in the upcoming months. But also Bob Iger is stepping down again. So I want to say he's got about a month left, and then he will step down. I guess he will retire. I don't know how that works. Can you retire more than once? I guess so, right? He's doing it. Um, it seemed like Tom Brady was doing it too for a little while. Oh, Zinger. Um, but yeah, there is definitely a shift, in the in direction, right? There's a shift in the wind, and I'm hopeful, right? I'm trying to be hopeful at least that all of these changes are positive. Now, let's be honest. Not everything can be good. Not everything will be great or perfect, but I'm hopeful again, cautiously optimistic that there's steps in the right direction. Again, I think for Lucasfilm, we're doing good. We got some good projects that we know of. I'm sure there's plenty that they're working on that they're not telling us, and I am all about that. By the way, like, please stop saying, "Hey guys, we're gonna make this movie in 10 years," and then 20 years go by, and they're like, "Oh yeah, no, yeah, no, we're not doing that." Okay, like, stop announcing stuff. All right, just stop. Okay, stop announcing until you're literally about to film the next day. Like, don't get our hopes up. All right, I really hope that Dave Filoni shakes that up, and I really hope that whoever who's following Bob Iger, I should know this. I know. Um, let's see who is. So Bob is stepping down March 18th. Oh, okay, so yeah, he's got about a month. 9 months before his contract expires. Interesting. He will be succeeded by Parks chief Josh Damaro, with Iger remaining on as a senior advisor and board member until the end of 2026 to ensure a smooth transition. Interesting, interesting. So he's cutting his contract short. Wonder why? I wonder why. But again, cautiously optimistic. Hopefully, good old Josh Damaro, the Amaro. I'm probably butchering his name. I'm sorry, but I'm sure he probably is not gonna listen to this episode. Um, Hopefully, he listens a little bit more to the fans. It says here he's Parks chief. And speaking of the parks, maybe we got a good indication there because, as you know, we got the news that Galaxy's Edge, in LA at least, they're gonna start including OT characters, original trilogy characters. So, such as the ones that we know for sure, Darth Vader, which already is a big win, Stormtroopers, which again, perfect sense. And I'm talking about Imperial Stormtroopers, okay, not First Order. They're gonna keep those. But a Han Solo, right? Or a younger Han Solo, Chewbacca, which we kind of already had. I mean, we've had Mando, we've had Luke. So now a big chunk of Galaxy's Edge area will be made available for those original trilogy characters to walk around. Now, part of Batu will keep, the sequel trilogy theme going on, but it seems like it's the smaller part, right? So who knows? Maybe Josh Demero is has his finger on the pulse, right? That'd be interesting. That'd be cool. I'm all about that. Hopefully we get in a good direction. Again, at least the LA park seems like they are finally giving us what we wanted since 2019. Okay, let me jump back here into the chat. See y'all chatting away. I love it. Um, got Archer in the house saying Star Wars and chill. Always, always. Hey everyone, what's going on, brother? Thanks so much for joining. Hey, look who it is. Rolando saying hi to everyone. Good to see you, man. How are you, man? Appreciate you joining. Yo, we got Antonio in the house saying hello there. Appreciate you joining, brother. Thank you. Rolando, how you been? Says Archer. Um, Nerd affiliate and say hi to everybody. And Tony says, yeah, what's going on with Disney now? I'm telling you, man, they are shaking up the tree. Having a glass of wine or two for you and me. Yeah, there you go. Cheers to that, brother. Appreciate you. Mm-mm-mm. So, Archer says, in corporate America, when you're a CEO, you fail up, quit a job, and gets promoted to board member. Yeah, right. That's it's kind of funny how that happens. Maybe he needed to put down, a down payment for his eighth house. And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna speed up this process because the market is good to buy right now. So let me quit. Let me step down. I'm sorry. Let me step down right now, 9 months before I'm supposed to, and just cash in. Um, but yeah, I think you're right, Archer. So he's got quite the power, right, as a board member now. But yeah, like I said, there's definitely some changes. We got Kathleen Kennedy down from president of Lucasfilm. We got Bob Iger stepping down in a month. We got, you know, um, Galaxy's Edge starting to introduce original characters in April. So it seems like every month there's a major kind of event going on with Disney or Lucasfilms. I just hope, they keep going with a positive trend, I think. Remember, we had that article, a few months ago, basically saying that Bob Iger was the one that was torpedoing a lot of stuff that we wanted, right? That he was the one pushing to slash Obi-Wan's budget, to rush the Acolyte, et cetera, right? So a lot of stuff that we kept blaming Kathleen Kennedy for turns out, she does have a boss, and that boss was Bob Iger, and he was like, nope, um, I don't want to see Obi-Wan, go for 12 episodes and make it six. and take away 200 million of their budget and leave them with 27 bucks, right, to make the show. So that's what I'm saying. Okay, I think it's positive that he's moving on. So we only time will tell, of course. But why do you think that is? Why do you think now? I don't think their earnings call was that bad. Archer can tell us, he keeps tabs on all this stuff. So, but I haven't seen, the headline that Disney's in a major financial crisis or anything like that. So I'm kind of wondering what triggered these changes right now. Um, what kind of, shakeup was needed to happen? So I was curious if anybody knows, if anybody works for Disney, let me know. It doesn't have to be live. Chris says, I'm amazed we don't really know anything about the Mando movie unless you believe the early leaks. I wonder if there will be any legacy characters in it. I'm actually excited to see it. So we are going to have a trailer tomorrow, right, for Super Bowl. By the way, guys, tomorrow's the Super Bowl. I don't know if you knew this. I didn't until like 2 days ago. But yes, so tomorrow will be Super Bowl, and with it, many, many um, expensive advertisement, right? Expensive commercials. But one of those will be a Mandu movie trailer, and I'm excited. Um, we got a teaser, right? And it looks super fun. And to Chris's point, yeah, we don't really know much. And I'm kind of here for that, if I'm being honest. So what we saw in Japan, right, was very similar in terms of the type of content of what we saw in the teaser. Action, action shots, some cool vehicles, a lot of explosions, of course. Uh, Mando and Grogu and some starships, and that was kind of it. That was kind of it. We didn't really see the big bad. We didn't really see Thrawn or Luke or Ahsoka, etc., etc. It was very generic, right? It was very like, oh look, we're gonna see a lot of the Imperial stuff that you guys know and love, like the AT-ATs. Yes, that's how you pronounce it. And we're gonna see snowtroopers, and you guys are gonna love it. It's gonna be very fun. Which again, I have no doubt in my mind that the action part of it is gonna be great. It's gonna look amazing. It is gonna be super entertaining. But again, circling back to what Chris is saying, yeah, we don't really know what's up with the story. There's rumors that this might be it for Mando. And for Mando, I mean Din Djarin specifically. Everybody here knows that we got plenty of Mandos running around now. And that, this will be it for the Mando and Grogu clan of two, that they'll split ways, right? That they'll depart and go their separate ways. Or again, just that one of them is just not going to make it out of the movie. Um, which I gotta be honest with you, if they do that, I applaud them. I applaud them because those characters are super, super popular. All right. They're I dare say they're probably, in terms of TV, they're probably the most popular characters they got, to the non-fans, especially, right? Just to the casuals. So yeah, if they decide to punch their ticket, right? Either one. Um, yeah, I'm actually, I would applaud that decision because I'm like, man, that's a choice. That is a choice. Um, but there's too many characters active in this timeline. Okay, the most obvious, of course, Luke. We got Thrawn. We got Ahsoka. We got Sabine. We got Ezra now. Um, Probably Cal Kestis. Maybe, maybe not. Um, and an assorted amount of other characters. So I think it's part of that slippery slope. You know, you wanna, or I would like for them to focus on Mandalorian and Grogu because that was the biggest gripe that I heard for Mandalorian season 3, that it wasn't a Mandalorian story anymore, that it wasn't Din Djarin's story anymore. that it was definitely, Bo-Katan's, right? And I don't know if they'll double down on that and just be like, you know what, Din Djarin is done. That's it. We have nothing else for him to do. Now it's just gonna be the armor, right? Or the armor and Bo-Katan. Like they're the Mandalorians now. That's the story we're gonna tell. So yeah, it's also very hard, I think, to introduce Luke. Um, because once Luke is in the play, like once Luke is in the movie, that's it. That's really anybody cares about, right? Like I'm sorry, Luke is just it's just Luke, right? Like he would definitely steal the show. So, but at the same time, if they don't give us anybody, then yeah, then it's gonna be kind of weird. I'm like, hey, everybody's around. How come he can't, talk to Boba? He can't talk to like Ezra. He can't go fight, Thrawn, like that kind of stuff, right? So yeah, there is gonna have to be some connective tissue. I just hope it's not all connective tissue, right? I do hope we get some advancement in the story of Din Djarin and Grogu beyond Din Djarin getting a new Razor Crest, right? That's kind of where I'm at. Um, I'll be quite honest with you, and I've said it here before. I'm setting my expectations very low when it comes to the story portion of the movie. I think everything else is gonna be super good. Okay, we know it visually. We know there's no question. It's gonna look incredible. All right. I think the action will be very good. I think the comedy will be very good. The special effects, etc., etc. But the story, right? The story, I I don't think they're looking for their next, big chapter. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't think they're looking to launch a new phase or a new era, right? Um, I think it's more or less kind of like Avengers, like Age of Ultron type of thing, where when all the characters pretty much they're probably gonna give us a big baddie, right? And then the rest of it is gonna be very similar to what we've seen, right? To what we're familiar with. Why? Because I kind of feel they're wanting to play it safe. I don't think they're ready to come out, swinging for the fence just yet. Uh, as we know, Star Wars hasn't had a movie in 7 years, right? By that point, so I kind of have this bad feeling that they're just gonna want to try and secure a hit with this one, financial hit, of course, a financial success at the box office, and then maybe we'll start seeing them, go a little bit crazier. I really, really hope I'm wrong on this one. That's why I'm saying it out loud, so that the universe is like, "Nah, man, you're totally wrong." So I really hope I'm wrong on this one, and this movie just like, flips the story on its ear and it gives us all kinds of crazy stuff. But again, I will be very surprised if that's the case. Let's see. Antonio says, I wouldn't mind Acolyte, more skeleton crew. Yeah, for sure, more skeleton crew. I like the initial stories adding to the lore and all, for sure. Love the Manda Grogu story. Yeah, man. Like I said, it's just everything points to the fact that this movie is going to control, is going to influence what happens with Mandalorian season 4. It's not greenlit. It was written, but then apparently a lot of those elements were rolled into the movie. So it's kind of like a make or break type of thing for the Mandalorian. And again, I'm not gonna say like, oh, they're going to erase those characters or anything like that. No, they can still use them. It's just not on their own show, right? Or their own show won't exist anymore. Ah, yes, and more Ahsoka. Yeah. Um, Lucky Leonard says, I feel if Luke ever returns, he will be in the potential Mandiverse crossover. It's hard to imagine him not being involved with a big threat like Tron. Yeah, and that's exactly it, right? Like we keep talking about um, the Avengers of Star Wars, right? Leading up to fight Thrawn, and that was supposed to be, heir to the Empire, right? Um, very loosely adapted from the novel, but the title, of course, tells us a lot. However, very recently, we heard that that's probably not going to happen. That movie in particular might actually be turned, sorry, into a Disney Plus show, and within that, uh, an animated show, right? So pretty far removed from the idea of it being a movie, an Avengers style movie. Um, so yeah, I don't know. Like I said, Luke is very, very hard to use, I think. But at the same time, people are like, why isn't he here? Or why didn't he help? Like, they're gonna have to find a way to sort of explain it out, because they included him, right, in Mando. Well, technically in Book of Boba Fett, but it's the Mando story, right? So that's what I'm saying. It's a very delicate balance, to use Luke, right? And they're gonna have to thread the needle somehow, and it's not easy. I don't think I have the correct answer. Um, but if the Avenger style movie happens against Thrawn, I agree completely. Luke has to be involved, and to be honest, they might have to find a way to uh, neutralize him, right? To nerf him, if you will. And neutralize, we know he's not gonna die, right? Um, but he gets transported to Peridia. He gets, cut off forcefully from the Force. He gets injected with this like nanovirus. Like somehow Luke is not at 100%, in play. Because if he is, let's be honest, man, like he's almost peak Luke at this point. So man, y'all saw the hallway scene, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever that was. Um, he wouldn't really have much trouble, right, against Imperial forces, especially Imperial forces that haven't been training, that are probably older now, etc., etc. So if he tore through those dark troopers, right, those brand new shiny dark troopers that everybody was having a hard time against, and my man just like scrapped them in like 2 minutes flat. Yeah, it's kind of hard for people to believe that he would have a very hard time against Imperial stormtroopers or death troopers. What are we calling the zombie troopers? Because we can't call them death troopers anymore. That's what the original name was. But death troopers are the special forces ones now. So I don't know. Undead troopers, whatever we want to call them. So yeah. Um, I do agree 100%, Lucky Leonard, that he has to be around, but how and how much, I think that's a very, very difficult part to balance. Frizzy, what's going on, man? Do you think all of Grogu's backstory will be revealed in the movie? No, no, I don't. Um, I don't. I don't think all of it. I think more of it should be revealed 100%. I think more of it for sure, but I don't think all of it will reveal. I think we'll get some good bits and pieces. Um, I like to know where he came from, right? I think we all do, and I'm kind of wishing we see more of that than where he went after the temple. Because where he went after the temple, there's already some comic books, covering a little bit of that, written by Ahmed Best, right? With Master Kelleran and Jar Jar involved, which is pure genius, by the way. So I hope to see that in some other medium, in some other form. Hopefully, like a mini series. Hopefully, a Tales of Killer and Back. right? Um, so I hope that we see the after the Jedi Temple, after Order 66, not in this movie. I kind of want to see more before, right? Like, where did they found him? Did he arrive on his own? Did Yoda know about him beforehand? Kind of that stuff. But I do think it should be something like that should be included in the movie for sure. Holy Ish says Ultra. I know there was a lot today. How's there's a mention? Oh, nice, man. Appreciate you joining, man. Thank you. Bring Ultra in the house. Appreciate you joining, man, and thank you for supporting Dave and them too. Nerfin says Luke versus Throne stories will be the moves, but we need a non CGI Luke. Yeah. Again, Luke versus Thrawn was supposed to be always kind of the end of Phase 2 or whatever Marvel calls it. But like I said, I guess they lost confidence in it because it seems, at least the last thing that I saw, if somebody has seen something new, let me know. But the last thing that I saw, Heir to the Empire, is more than likely not going to happen. Not in a movie. Ultra says, man, this past week was so cold. I feel like it was freezing to the end, like McCready and McCready and Childs in the ending of John Carpenter's The Thing. Yeah. Um, wasn't a fan of the zombie stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah. We've had, zombies, right? We've had the Night Sisters um raise the dead before, but I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to wait and see how they play it out. Um, but yeah, as much as I love the concept and I love the stories with the Dead Troopers, once you introduce that kind of stuff, you're opening up the floodgates, right? You are having to have a whole new set of rules, a whole new set of type of adventures, a whole new set of characters. Even if zombies are possible in Star Wars, then yeah, that definitely changes the game. Nerdfin says, I think I disagree. This is peak Disney Luke, not Legends Luke. I don't think we'll get Force Storm Luke or anything like that. There can be bigger and better fighters out there. There can be, but they already shown us, like I said, they're already giving us that hallway scene, man. Just with that, Luke's a badass. So that's what I'm saying. That's the last thing that people remember from him. We saw him in Book of Boba Fett, of course, and he was chilled and he was had like those weird ant robot droids building, with stones and whatever. But I wouldn't really see him fight, right? So so that's all I mean. They have to. I agree. They won't go full on legend, powerful Luke, but he's still Luke. He's still Luke, and they've already established that he's a great fighter. So can there be bigger? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even in Legends, right? There was bigger. Um, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you start that escalation war, right? Like, you put in Mando. Okay, Thrawn, I think, is a pretty good fit as a villain. You put in Luke, Thrawn by himself, I don't think uh, fits the bill. I think you need Thrawn plus whatever, right? Like you said, another bigger, badder fighter. So that's all I meant. Like, you kind of have to keep raising the stakes, right? And I don't know that they want to do that anymore, to be honest. Freezy says, I still think Thrawn is trying to get the Night Sisters to resurrect Maul somehow. Luke would be needed to deal with a threat like that. Yeah, see, that's exactly my point right there. Freezy, basically illustrated what I'm thinking. Thrawn by himself, right, won't be enough of a threat anymore. He needs the Night Sisters. He needs, a zombie Maul. Uh, a zombie something or some other person, in order for it to be an actual threat um, to Luke. Well, to Luke and to Luke and Ezra, to Luke and Ezra and Mando, to Luke and Ezra and Mando and the Mandalorian army. You know what I'm saying? Like, and while I would love to see, a fight break out between all of those, it has to make sense. Again, we fall back on the story thing, right? It's got to make sense. So Mando and Grogu, right? This movie that's gonna come out in a couple of months. I think it's gonna show us the way. I think it's gonna tell us a lot of where they're trying to head. So it it might be just a setup, right? I'm kind of leaning like this. There will be some setup, but it won't be the main task. Again, I'm leaning more towards like the main task is to entertain people. You know, there will be a few shocks here and there, so the people are like engaged, but it's got to make money, right? Like that's priority number one for sure. Then after that, right, we're gonna start seeing more connective tissue, more build up. Again, hopefully, the Heir to the Empire project gets back onto being a movie, because I think that would be absolutely like great. That's kind of what we need. Actually, it could be a couple of movies. I don't want to see a trilogy, although there's enough material as we all know. But maybe two movies would be a good balance, between not stretching it out, but at the same time not compressing it too much. I don't know that Disney will go for that though, like just making a two movie type of thing. But they do have the precedence of Avengers, right? Um, Endgame or Infinity War and Endgame, right? They're kind of part one and part two type of thing. Do you think Grogu will be a part of Star Wars going forward past post sequel trilogy? I don't know. I don't know. Obviously, Grogu didn't exist or wasn't created, the character, um, by the time of the sequel trilogy, right? So he definitely wasn't included. We don't know anything about him. He was introduced as a character later on. In terms of the timeline, they got enough separation that a lot can happen to Grogu in that meantime, right? There can be a lot of um, explanations, right? They don't have to kill him off, right? Again, they can send him to another galaxy now, if that's a thing. They can have him trapped somehow in the war between worlds. Um, they can freeze him, and he's not resurrected for another 200 years, whatever it is, and that's another story for another movie. Um, they can bring him, right, and like you said, use him with Ray Skywalker. That'd be a thing. Um, Especially because supposedly the Ray Skywalker movie is still going on. Daisy Ridley said not that long ago that it's gonna take some time, but it's gonna be a great movie. I think she's she's just starting to phase the idea out, like she's letting us down, easy, right? Like not all at once. Like she probably knows it's never gonna happen, and she's like, no, yeah, guys, they're still working on it. Give it a couple more years, and then next year she's gonna be like, oh yeah, no, it was never meant to happen. Um, they announced it a long time ago. But to answer your question, Freezy, I think if they do, they're going to negate a lot of the stuff going on in the Mandoverse. So right now, I don't think that they will use him. Again, that's not to say he might be around, but I think right now they're trying to leave his fate, unknown. They might not even know yet. But if we get a movie, post sequel trilogy, and Grogu's there, or he's mentioned or shown or whatever, then we know he's gonna make it all throughout everything that happens in Mandalorian, you know, ever, right? Until Din Djarin dies. Um, so yeah, I don't know that. I don't know that they will use him. Hey, what's going on, Ricardo? Good to see you, brother. Graham Thrones is the ultimate military tactical genius. He will probably start some serious stuff, but we shall see what happens. Yeah, dude, I am super okay. Ahsoka season 2. Um, I've said this before, and I will say it again because to me it's still true. and this is my opinion. I'm the thing that excites me, or the character that excites me the least out of Ahsoka season 2, is Ahsoka. I could not care less when compared to everything else that should, in theory, go on in season 2. Ahsoka herself, yeah, whoa, I got nothing. You know, I don't think it's a really hot, like, I don't think it's a hot take, but maybe it's a hot take. I don't know. But the character of Ahsoka herself, I don't know. You know, I'm not super excited. But man, I am super excited about Admiral Thrawn versus Admiral Akbar. Right? I'm excited to see what happens with Ezra, and now that he's back, in the New Republic. I'm excited about Shin Hati. I'm excited about Balin. Right? I'm excited about Anakin. Um, just not super excited about Ahsoka herself, right? Because I don't know that she's got much more where to go, um, which is a good thing because they can surprise me, right? They can be like, bam, she's the most important character in all of Star Wars. And hey, if they make a compelling argument and a compelling story, I'm all for it. But up to what we know today, um, again, the stuff surrounding Ahsoka is what really has me excited for Ahsoka season 2. And you're absolutely right. Admiral Thrawn is the best, tactician that we know of. The stuff that he did in Rebels, was great. I always wanted to see more of that stuff, and and hopefully now that he's back, he's got more resources. He starts pulling in, some more warlords, things like that, so he can get quite a bit more resourceful, right? Which means more powerful for him. But yes, we shall see how they end up using him. He's such a great character, man, that I don't think they'll mess it up, but who knows? It is Disney, right? Hello, hey Janine, what is going on? How you doing? Hey, so I saw your post that Scott is good to be driving, so watch out there, California. He's back, so congrats on that, Janine, to you, both you and Scott. So, um, sending you guys some positive vibes, and I hope that this is one of many, steps to getting back to some normalcy. Ricardo says, "Been looking, brother. Loving the conversation. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, thank you." Hey, Janine, says Ricardo. Freezy says, "I got a feeling with the mall show, their team bought him and Talon up for a return in live action stuff coming up. That would be sweet. I'll take it. I will take it. First of all, I will take that they actually decide to use Talon. We don't know that she's actually there. Everything kind of points to that, but again, I'm kind of hoping that is by design. Like they're like, hey, look at this Twi'lek. Hey, um, she's a Padawan. Hey, um, she's gonna meet Maul, and we are putting the pieces together. It's like, oh yeah, obviously she's gonna be Maul's um, apprentice, who will be renamed to Darth Talon, right? Once she completes the training or whatever. But it'd be kind of sweet if they flip the script, right? And they bring in Talon, uh, and it's not even her. Like it's, I mean, the one that we've seen, like it's some other way. But anyway, I agree with you. It would be awesome to see, Darth Maul back in live action, not with Ray Park anymore. I think that ship has sailed, sunk, and become a reef by now. Um, but yes, the character for sure. I still say, like, what would a Sam Witwer Maul look like? I think he can pull it off, right? Um, is there a picture out there? Sam Witwer start Maul live action. Um, I don't know. I don't see one. But again, He's got the range. I think he can pull it off. Physically, I mean, like he's still in great shape, so I think he could pull off a live action Darth Maul. Maybe not the stunts. I don't know how much of a martial artist Sam Witwer is, but hey, um, they got some awesome choreographers, for that. So, um, Janine says, haha, yes, thank you. He's returned to work on Monday. Dang, that's awesome. Congrats, congrats. I'm super happy for y'all. Hi, Ricardo says, Janine. Ricardo says, that's great. Now if he's going to work, that's awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Freezy says, agreed. Ray Park will never get rehired. All I will say is that if he is, wow. Okay. Yeah, I would be incredibly surprised. Um, yeah, because I mean, Gina Carano walked for much less than what he did, right? I think leaving Maul in Rebels is fine. Um, I don't know. We'll see. Again, I feel that Disney is, what's the word? Anyway, they're trying to um rig everything in their favor, right? Like they're trying to almost guarantee hit after hit with Star Wars because they haven't had one in a while. So yeah, I wouldn't put it past them, to be like, okay, we gave you more we gave you more animated, and that was a hit. Okay, now we're gonna give it to you in live action somehow. We're gonna figure it out. Sam would be amazing, right? I think so too. I think he can definitely pull it off. Um, Man, I was hoping somebody had made that kind of image, but I don't see it actually. Which I'm a little bit surprised. Nobody has done a Sam Witwer, with mall makeup. Very interesting. Yo, look who it is. We got Big John in the house putting Sam Witwer as Darth Maul live action. Why not? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think he can pull it off. The man is in great shape. Um, and we know he can act the part. That's for sure. I don't think we're going to see Dark Talon until the series when she commits to the dark side. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it'd be kind of cool if if the Padawan, which I forget her name right now, the Twi'lek, is like, yeah, I want to join the dark side, blah blah, and then all of a sudden, like, whoosh, and it's actual Dark Talon. Like, yeah, I, yeah, my hats off if they do something like that. Hey, Kenobi fam says the Rushmore show. What is going on, bro? Appreciate you joining, man. Good to see you. Um, so yeah, guys. I mean, like I said, plenty of changes. So far, most seem positive. Again, I want to emphasize something that I keep bringing up. Just because Kathleen Kennedy is out right now, at the end of January or beginning of February, doesn't mean that that the Mando and Grogu movie was made without her. Doesn't mean that Ahsoka season 2 was made without her. If those two are like major hits, that was still her. Okay, just remember that. Kind of like everything going forward. Actually, even Starfighter, right? That she was still very much in charge. So just keep that in mind. Okay, we haven't seen a purely Filoni led project yet, right? With his new title, we will, but it's gonna take some time. All right. So just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind whenever there's something you don't like on Mando and Grogu. Um, but speaking of things I didn't like, I do want to talk about this very quickly before we get out of here. So this week we had a very very popular and expected pre-order that was supposed to happen uh, for Lord Starkiller figure. How can I make this? I think that works better. From Hasbro, it was announced, right, that it was going to be a fan channel and an Amazon exclusive. So, in case you haven't seen it, this is that beauty right here. Black Series, Star Wars Sorry, Star Wars Black Series, Lord Starkiller, obviously based from The Force Unleashed. Basically, that what we call it alternate path where Starkiller becomes a full on Sith, and this thing is amazing. All right, this thing is great. It's a deluxe because they gave us two hands and what is it? One, two, three, four, five, six lightsabers. All right. Soft goods, bendy wire, amazing. All right. Technically, it's part of their gaming grades. And by the way, whoever took these shots, my hats off to you. Okay, you did a great job. Whoever made these pictures. But well, let me just show you here the last one. Look at that. Come on, look at that detail. Yeah, this thing looks great. But two things I didn't like. One, it's the new pricing, so 43 buckos for a 6-inch figure. With technically with 5 extra lightsabers and 2 extra hands. And I'm saying extra because that's how Hasbro is viewing it right now, right? So 43 bucks. Uh that again, I'm always transparent with you guys. That turned me off. Okay. Do I want it? Of course I want it. This thing is gorgeous. I still haven't seen the reviews because I don't know that early units have been sent out. But anyway, but just from the pictures, right? That's what I'm saying. The pictures did amazing for me on this figure. They should make this person or studio or whatever, make these like all the time. Anyway, so that's when I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna wait to see the reviews first, right? And then I'll pick it up. I'll decide if it's worth full on price or if I can get a coupon or wait for a sale on Amazon or use points, blah blah blah. But then this week, the pre-order date came in, and lo and behold, it was nowhere to be found on Amazon. And then it was up, and then it was up on Hasbro Pulse, and it was sold out like super fast. And then it got put back up on stock, and then it got taken down the listing on Amazon. And so I would say this is the first figure of the year that people really wanted it. Again, I want it. And they botched the pre-order incredibly. I don't know how. Then they finally communicated later on that day. It's like, hey, sorry, we are gonna throw more stock up on Hasbro Pulse. Just keep an eye on it. Those sold out quick too. And then kind of through like yak phase, kind of like not super officially, they're like, oh, by the way, no, this was never an Amazon thing. And they're like, but we saw the link. Like some people actually, I believe some people managed to put in orders. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a small amount of people actually managed to put orders through Amazon for this. So what the heck, guys? Like we gotta we gotta do better than this. Like Hasbro, you had a banger on your hands and you dropped the ball pretty hard. Like the one time everything was supposed to go smoothly. Like a lot of people were ready to swallow this $43 pill. All right. And then so come on. Come on. Hasbro, come on. You had it. You had us in the bag, in this expensive bag, and you dropped it. You dropped it like a sack of potatoes. So yeah, let me know, anybody here in the chat, if you guys pre-order this. Again, I didn't even try. I kind of had already told myself I wasn't going to, and I didn't. Um, I'll wait for the reviews, and if this thing never comes back in stock, okay, that sucks. But as we've seen before, things don't stay gone or exclusive for a long time with the Black Series. All right. Case in point, I just did a review of the Darth Vader with the battle damage, helmet. Uh, from based on the look from Obi-Wan Kenobi series. So it's Hayden Christensen under there. It used to be a Target exclusive back in 2023, and it got pretty hard to find. Like I only got one, and then they re-released it, and the figure is perfectly fine, and I think a lot of people got it. So it took a couple of years though. So don't 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 expect for this to be become available like super soon. Um, there's always secondary market, of course, and it's gonna depend, I guess, on the demand and how the line is doing. But yeah, let me know. Let me know if you actually got one of these. Let me jump here back into the chat for a little bit before we take off. Where are you? Rushmore Show says, "Great to see you. We just got back from Rocket City Retro Fest. Oh, nice. How was it?" Ultra says, "The only I find interesting is Black Series Lord Star Killer, as he looks sick as hell, but not worth 43 as should have been. At least between 33 and 35. Yep, I'm with you. I think Filoni is going to drop back into Clone Wars going forward, or will he explore new things? To be honest, I think he's gonna have to try to do both. I think most of us are expecting him to, keep dipping into the Clone Wars well. Uh, but at the same time, I think he recognizes he can't do that forever, right? Now, do I think he's gonna take on every project? Not really. I think he's gonna accept proposals, from other creators, and then he's gonna be like, "All right, this is good. Just do this." I couldn't do it for the price, but it looks amazing. Same here, man. I couldn't do it. I was like, I cannot. I was like, yeah, I just can't. That's not right. Yo, look who it is. We got Daniel from the Legacy of Nerd in the house. What is going on, brother? Appreciate you joining, man. Antonio says, "Time for another sip, bro. You need to catch up." Dude, it sounds like I am way behind. Good stuff. Ultra saying hi to Daniel. Antonio says, "Also, I definitely need a Star Killer ASAP." Dude, that's what I'm saying. This figure is so good, but man, hey, Ultra says Daniel. When doesn't Hasbro drop the ball? When they charge you. Send you a text with a better option. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, right. So the one that Archer sent is basically the Hot Toys. The Hot Toys special edition for 270. So yeah, there you go. So you're paying what, 20% of that? No. Did I get that right? Yeah, like 25% of that with the Black Series. Like that's kind of nuts, right? That's kind of nuts. Nerdfield say hi to everybody. Rushmore says it was great. Tons of creators in the game space. Awesome time. Nice, man. Nice. Yeah, I've been itching to get back into a con. I don't really have anything scheduled for a while, actually. I'm trying to do more focus this year. Last year was nuts. In a good and bad way, honestly. So I'm trying to refocus a little bit this year. So hopefully, fewer but better shows. But yeah, I think it's still gonna be a couple of months before I go to any convention. Okay, so before we take off, I just want to remind you guys to check us out on social media. We are on Facebook, General Kenobi's Bunker. We are on Instagram, general.kenobis.bunker. We're also on TikTok at general_kenobis_bunker and on Threads at general.kenobis.bunker. So I would greatly appreciate it if you follow us in all of our social media platforms, as we are trying to grow our numbers this year for sure. And yeah, I really want to get back on track, growing the channel. Last year, like I said, it was crazy. It was great in terms of content, but it wasn't so great, in terms of numbers, if I'm being honest. So hopefully this year I can make up for some of that, lost ground, and get back a little bit more to where I want, the numbers to be. But before all that, I want to say thank you again because I gave you guys like 7 minutes heads up to join the live stream, and here you are, And I really appreciate you, Bunker Bunch. That's really what it boils down to. You guys are amazing, and you're always showing up, and I really really appreciate each and every single one of you for that. So I think that is gonna do it for our first late night hangout of 2026. Once again, I appreciate Joel. I hope that you have a great rest of your week, and I hope you guys have a great next week. And guys, seriously, buy your Valentine's gifts. Okay, you got a week, technically less because it needs to get here by the 13th. All right, don't forget. Just buy them. Okay, just buy it. Just swipe that card. All right, that is gonna do it. Thank you again. May the force be with you. Love y'all.